If you're over 40, here are 5 upper body exercises that's going to strengthen your core, your stability, and your posture. All right, I got my notes here real quick so I don't go off track and I don't just start blabbering, because I want to make sure I get to the point very quick and precise. All right, first thing up is push-ups. Push-ups. Well, the push-ups will help you strengthen your chest, right? But it also will help strengthen your posture and also your core and your triceps. All right, those are muscles that are behind your biceps. So you got your biceps over here, right? Looking right there. When people do this, well, right up under it is your triceps, and that's one of the muscles that's going to help get strengthened when you're doing push-ups. One of the most body weight fundamental exercises that you can do today right now is push-ups, because that's going to activate a lot of muscles that we need, to help keep our posture right, to give that, good posture when you're standing up straight, all that good stuff, man. Listen, I love it. So that's what happens when you're dealing with bodyweight exercises. Push-ups is the #1 thing that you could do for bodyweight exercises, and there's different versions of it. You could do it on your knees for beginners, right? For intermediates and advanced people, you can do it off your knees. You could do wide grip push-ups. You can do wide grip push-ups. You can do inside push-ups. They call them military push-ups, where it really works your triceps. And then you can do just regular push-ups, which is like just right outside your shoulders. So these are the different types of push-ups that you can do that's going to help build your chest, build your posture, build your stability, and also build your core. All right, moving on to the next one. We got resistance band rows. Well, when you're dealing with rows, you ever rowed a boat where somebody just kind of rows, and they do this, right? Well, when you're standing up and you bend over and you have what is called resistance bands, or you can use some light weight, all you got to do is come from the bottom with your arms straight up and just pull back. All right, it's kind of like bending over and opening up a door that's on the ground, okay, if that makes sense. Rows are good for your back. Once again, working your back is good for your posture. It's really going to strengthen your lats. That's like right up under your armpits, right under your back. But it's also going to hit you like places like your rhomboids. Yeah, I know I'm getting real scientific here. I'm not trying to do too scientific, but your rhomboids is a very good muscle that you need to strengthen. But also there are other muscles in your shoulder blades and things of that nature. I'm not going to get too scientific for you today because I don't want to throw you off. But yeah, pretty much your back, your upper, middle, back is where you're going to need your good posture from. So doing rows or bent over rows with resistance bands, you're going to need some sort of resistance with because of gravity. You can use weights as well, right? But I know people like, oh, never use weights, whatever. No, you can use weights, just not heavy weights, when you're over 40, right? So yeah, resistance bands, I believe, is one of the best things to use, when you're trying to get some resistance out of it and building muscle. So I would say resistance bands rows is very good. So you stand straight up, right? You just bend over at the hip, right? You have the resistance bands up under your feet and you just pull. That's all it is. You're pulling. You can stand up straight and do it too. You don't have to bend over. You can stand up straight, have the resistance bands, on, like clamped onto something, and you just pull. That's all you got to do, guys. So resistance band rows are very good structural exercise that's good for keeping a good posture and for having a good back. All right, moving on to the next one. We have shoulder press. Now, there are various ways to do shoulder press. You can do it without weights. If you're like 70, 80, even 90 years old, just no weights at all will work perfect because it's a good functional movement. And I just want to read something real quick that I wrote down when it comes to shoulder press. Builds strong shoulders and arms while improving functional strength on everyday activities like lifting or reaching overhead. So once again, basic body weight fundamental movements. All right, pardon the wind here because I'm not sure if you're catching the wind real quick, but this is one of the things that I want you guys to understand. Your shoulders are one of the most important things in your body when you're over 40 or 50 because it deals with your posture. So at the end of the day, when you're dealing with your shoulders and you have like the back pains or upper back pains, feel like a knife is sticking in your back, right? That's because your posture is bad. You're sitting at your desk, right, for too long. and you feel like somebody just stabbed you in the back, or you feel 1,000 needles is in your back, that's because of your shoulders. They're protruding forward, as you can see me, right? And you're like this all day. Nah, man. So you gotta be able to strengthen your shoulders, man. And by doing that is, one, you don't have to use weight to use your shoulders. Just literally doing this. I'm gonna zoom out here real quick, and just doing this, keeping your arms straight, will help. I don't know if you can see that or not, but doing shoulder press is one of the best things to do for your posture, because it helps build the upper part of the body of your shoulders right here, so you can, be able to function properly, and you're not having to, protrude your shoulders forward about 5, 6, 7 o'clock, right, when you're getting off of work. All right, moving on to the next thing. Plank hold. I spoke about this before. Plank hold. I'm gonna read this real quick from my notes. Engages the shoulders, arms, and core while improving stability and protecting the spine. Once again, guys, if you have lower back pain, one of the best things to do is planks, right? So you want to make sure you get on your shoulder, you get on your elbows, right? Have your body elevated. Squeeze the glutes, hold them glutes as long as you can. Because if you let go of the glutes, you got to start all over. That's the deal. Hold the glutes. Now, usually you could do it for about a minute, maybe 30 seconds, right? And as you get better, you can hold it for longer and longer, right? Squeeze your glutes, tilt your pelvis towards the ground, and hold it, right? And that's, once again, a good exercise for upper body as well as your core, but as well as your posture. Okay. All right, moving on. Bicep curls. Now, bicep curls, there's so many different types of exercises we can do with bicep curls. I mean, I don't know, where do I begin? One, there's a bicep curl you could do by doing push-ups. It's called flanged push-ups. I probably wouldn't suggest that at first, but to do bicep curls, I would say get some resistance bands, or some light dumbbells. Ladies, anywhere between 5 to 15 pounds. Men, anywhere between 15 to 25 pounds. Okay, you could do bicep curls. And once again, with your biceps, there are two muscles there. So when everybody makes that pose like that, right? When you do that, well, those are your biceps. And those are two muscles. That's why they call it biceps, because those are two. Bi means two. And those are two muscles there. And one of the things that your biceps will help you do is, well, if you're picking up or you're carrying something and you're holding it from the bottom, right? Guess what's being activated? Your biceps. So, pardon that noise there. It's pretty noisy out here. Pardon the noise. But anyway, you got your biceps, that are holding up this package that you're carrying. Okay, so once again, when you're doing biceps is a good thing to kind of help you carry things to and fro places, or if you're moving, or if you're trying to straighten up your place and things of that nature. All right, so that's pretty much it, guys. I'm not going to be too long on this, because it's really a no-brainer when it comes to exercising your upper body. I just wanted to kind of split it up in that manner. I want to get in too much with it, but here are some tips that I wrote down for you guys. All right, we have tips for people who are 40 and over or 50 and over, right? Focus on good form, okay? Controlled movements, being consistent, and work out about 2 to 3 days a week. All right, so good form, being consistent, and you want to work this upper body at least 2 to 3 days a week, minimum 30 minutes. Okay, do not get in there and do 3 hours worth of work. It don't make no damn sense. Your body, if you are over 40 and over 50, right, your body only needs at least 30 minutes of exercise, so you can go throughout your day. Now, there's 24 hours in a day, so I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you can't put in 30 minutes of exercising just on your upper body, then Houston, we have a problem. All right, guys. That's it for this video. If you found any kind of value in this video, and if you have any questions, just leave it down in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.